Happy Banlist Day, Duelist. Today we are here reacting a little bit late to the new Forbidden and Limited list. So this came out basically as I was mid-holiday dinner. Happy holidays to all of you celebrating Rosh Hashanah, Shana Tova to all of you. And we are here to discuss the very small but possibly significant ban list that we just got today. Before we begin, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, praise me for picking up 3 Ultimate Rare Fenriers for a fraction of the price just 4 days ago. I mean, just a creative genius. But we're here to talk about the ban list. You already know what's there, but I do want to talk about the implications, the winners, and the losers. We're about to see a new format come into place in YCS Dortmund, which is going to happen later during the end of the month. And it's going to be very interesting. And of course, the one forbidden card is, of course, Kashira Riseheart. This is pretty much the bane of our existence when it comes to graveyard-centric decks. It's the main boss monster of the Kashira deck, and I think that this card was extremely powerful and extremely toxic, preventing a lot of strategies from taking place. This does not eliminate the graveyard problem completely, because Dimension Shifter is still in the format, and it's still at 3, but Kashira being significantly hit, not completely demolished, by the way, and I'm kind of surprised that Unicorn didn't go to 3 because, honestly, it could after Riseheart being banned, but it's going to be interesting to see what actually happens now. Do people still elect to play the Kashira engine because it's just so strong, or will people move on to other things because we've already seen a decline in Kashira players, maybe because people were just tired of the playstyle and just tired of the deck. I don't think this was a very popular deck in terms of playstyle, but Kashira Riseheart being banned means that decks like Tearlaments, decks like Branded get a little bit stronger. A lot of graveyard-centric decks, also like Drytron. Drytron is a really strong combo deck that doesn't really have anything hit recently since like Eva. Benton is at 3. Orange Light is at 3. We're going to talk about that in the newly released section. And I think that Kashira Riseheart being banned is good. Possibly not enough. I would have liked to see cards like Dimension Shifter, Anti-Spell Fragrance, Eradicator, Epidemic, Virus. Those are the kind of like non-game creators that we've seen recently. They're not here. A lot of people were saying that Fenrir should have been banned as well. I think that, if you're looking at Kashira Riseheart being banned, I think it's enough. And then, probably the biggest losers here, I mean, Dragons. I'm sorry. I think that Chaos Space is harsh, even though it's an amazing card. We'll talk about that in a second. Bestial Magnamud. So Bestials in the OCG all got hit to 1 in the same list besides Serenir. So Magnamud is at 1, Lubellion, Druid's Worm, and Baldrake. All of these are at 1, if you can believe it, in the OCG. Here in the TCG, we just got Magnamud Limited, which is fine, I think. The card is very strong, especially in the context of Dragon Link. With Dragon Link, it's basically a starter, a searcher, an interruption. Just recurring every single turn with Branded Regained is really rough. If you can remove it once, maybe it's gone for good now, and it doesn't search your starter every single turn, which was crazy. I think Lubellion is very strong as well, but I think hitting Chaos Space instead of hitting all the other Bestials, or like banning Striker Dragon or Seals, which was also on the table in my opinion. I think it's harsh, but makes sense. Dragon Link cannot be tier 1 forever. The deck has been out for like 4 years now in different instances and varieties. And I think Chaos Space being a searcher, a send to the graveyard, which fuels the graveyard, it's not even a cost at that point. And then also recurring your whites and blacks every single turn once you get to resolve them, and like drawing you cards, so much card advantage. This is a very clear hit that Konami wanted to send the message to when it comes to Dragons. I mean, they were probably not happy. They were doing really good at Worlds. They were doing really good in every single YCS and big tournaments and nationals. And yeah, I mean, Dragons, they've been here forever. There's no reason for them to be here. An additional format. Maybe they wanted to shift the format to a bit more of a narrower format, even though a Riseheart opens up a lot of things. Things that kind of missed the limited list, a lot of decks that could have gotten hit. A lot of people were talking about Tour Guide to 1. Apparently, it's just too early. Just too early at this point. Rika completely dodging this list, even though in the current format, it doesn't really seem necessary, but wait for next European Championship. It's probably going to take first place as well, third year in a row. Sprite, untouched at this point. Cards like Sprint, Starter, Blue, all fine. Nobody plays those right now. Runic, again, not very strong in the current format because of Unchained being in the meta. Also, we're kind of rough against things like Kashira, but hey, maybe now we can see a little bit of a resurgence there. And of course, the card that you all said I'm biased for not putting in my list was Branded Fusion, and it's not here. Because apparently it didn't need to get hit. I agree. They kind of want to let Chimera play out the format because Branded Fusion is a really, really good starter there. But hey, we might see the next list, like post YCS, is close to like December probably after the Rarity Collection, being completely different and like obliterating a lot of decks. One more thing, Pot of Prosperity. I think the card should be at 1. Said it from the beginning. A lot of people didn't agree. The card is absolutely nuts. Still at 3. And lastly, Pearly. I think Sleepy Memory probably should have gotten hit, but that would really, really hurt the deck. And I think right now, to be honest, with the current format, Pearly seems like a very fair deck. Even though it brings out a huge towers, it's still completely manageable. No semi-limits at all, which is weird. I mean, you could have semi-limited a few cards or just taken some cards off the list, like maybe Harp, some Striker cards. I don't know, like Dragon Rulers, who knows? Like there's always some semi-limits before they go to 3, but not here because Gazelle goes whoop straight from 1 to 3. Herald of the Orange Light makes sense. Now with Tier gone, you can bring in maybe 3 of those into your deck, play with your fairies, play with Diviner, maybe get some advantage from that. Again, Drytron, as I mentioned, is a deck that I'm currently like pretty scared of, like especially with Magnemite being at 1 now. Kind of opens the door for Drytron abusing this card, and it's really, really abusable in Drytron. So I would expect to see some of that. But Salman Great Gazelle, for a while now, probably could have gotten to 3 earlier. Now they turned it into a Link monster and brought it to 3, which is good. Current like new wave of support to the Salad deck. They want us to play the strategy. They think Gazelle at 3 is fine. I personally think it's fine. I think that the deck's end board is not going to be different with Gazelle. Like Gazelle is extremely searchable at this point. There's Small World that this deck runs. There's Desires. There's also things like Silent Mining. Just search this card. And of course Circle can just bring out this card. So I don't think it's really different. I'm happy for you. If you like this change, I'm happy for you that you got it to 3. I don't think it makes a big difference. I don't think this deck is that powerful right now with Gazelle at 3. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. So yeah, obviously the biggest losers, Kashira taking a huge hit. If you like this type of deck, then get good and play something else because you don't have a Riser anymore. Dragon's taking a significant hit. Everything else, in my opinion, is a winner because I think we got a great format on our hands, and this just makes it a little bit better because we don't have cards like a Riseheart and Magnemite like spamming the format everywhere. Leave your comments down below, your opinions, your ideas about the next ban list maybe that slaughters everything, opinions of what should have gotten hit and didn't, or what you would like to see off the ban list maybe in the next one because we're not getting in this one. Good luck to everybody in Cancun. And of course, Dortmund with the new list. Like the video, subscribe. See you in the next one. Peace.